What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today's video, we got some exciting things to talk about, including NC State's win last week over Wake Forest and also a preview of the Virginia Tech game coming up later this afternoon. So let's get it started. First, with that NC State game last Saturday, let me just be the first one to say I underestimated the WolfPack offense dramatically. I think we all knew State's run game was really elite with Bam Knight, Ricky Person, and even Jordan Houston are three great running backs, but having 270 yards rushing was just something that I did not expect. Ricky Person led the way with 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. And even as you see right there, Bailey Hockman, the starting quarterback. Yes, Hockman, not Leary, the starting quarterback. We'll talk about that in a minute. Even he got a rushing touchdown. Bam Knight, 11 carries, 97 yards, averaging nearly 9 yards per carry. He had a touchdown as well. And even Ricky Person, a touchdown pass, and we'll talk about that as well a little bit later. But what an outstanding performance by the offense. And give Tim Beck, the new offensive coordinator from Texas, give him a lot of credit. Coach Beck understands the strength of this offense is going to be running the football with 3 great running backs and a great offensive line, so I expect him to continue with the run. But the passing game is going to have to be a lot better than last year, as we know, and it was. Bailey Hockman was 16 for 23 passing, had 191 yards. He also had a touchdown and that one interception. And there's that touchdown pass by Ricky Person. Just beautiful there. Tim Beck, give him credit. They ran that Wildcat formation earlier in the game, and Person kept it this time. Just lobs it up over the top one-on-one. Great strength by the physical receiver, Devin Carter, to come in and make that catch. It was sort of surprising to see that Bailey Hockman was getting the start over Leary because Coach Dorn talked about how Devin Leary was their guy. He was the number 1 quarterback. It was his job to lose, essentially. But at the last minute, we got the word that Hockman wouldn't get the start. And it was more so to do with Leary missing a lot of practice time due to having a quarantine for COVID reasons. And with the new offense brought in by Coach Beck, Bailey Hockman was the guy getting all the reps for the first team in practices. So it kind of threw Wake a curveball, I believe, and it helped us. It benefited our offense that looked great and put up 45 points. But if Hockman's going to be the guy that State sticks with over the next few weeks or maybe even the rest of the season, they're going to have to show more confidence in him, I believe. Because after that one interception he did throw, it seemed they wavered away from the run game a little bit. Whether they stick with Hockman for the next few games of the rest of the season or they do turn it over to Leary at some point, and I mean, as long as Hockman's playing well, it should be his. But you want to see whoever it is, the offensive coordinator back and Coach Dorn and the whole staff, they have confidence in them that even after one mistake, they don't turn away from the pass game. But other than that one interception he threw, he played a really solid game. And it looks like he's going to be the starter tonight against Virginia Tech, bearing any late last-minute changes like last week. And Coach Dorn did say both quarterbacks had a great week of practice, and they're both prepared and ready to go whenever they are called upon. So we'll see what happens there. I am happy that football is back, and I'm 1-0 my NC State predictions this year. I did predict the WolfPack to win this game. I predicted a much lower score, almost half the score that it was. I did not expect State to score 45 points in the opener. After all the crazy, it started Hockman last minute and everything that went on, I did not expect the WolfPack to score 45 points. I am a little upset that they did allow 42 to a Wake team that isn't really great on offense. The NC State's run defense is going to have to be a lot better, especially next week against a really solid Virginia Tech team. The defense did get to Hartman 6 times. They sacked him 6 times, including Peyton Wilson, who had 4 tackles for loss to go along with a sack. He was outstanding. The defense is going to have to. They're going to have to up the rush defense against Virginia Tech. And they do have an outstanding quarterback who is very mobile, and Hendon Hooker, who can escape the pocket. So they're going to have to do a good job of game planning around his dual threat ability. But you see State's rushing numbers. Look at Person, Knight, and Houston is absolutely outstanding on the ground. And hopefully that can carry over to this Virginia Tech game. Now shifting gears over to that NC State-Virginia Tech game tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. It will be the WolfPack traveling to Blacksburg to take on the number 20th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies, who will be playing in their first game of the season. Now, it will be NC State's first time playing Virginia Tech since they traveled to Blacksburg and lost 28-13 back in 2015. State will be looking for their first win over the Hokies since 2004, so that would be huge to get this win. And it's one of those teams we don't play every year, of course, since them being in the Coastal Division. So it's good to see us playing teams in the Coastal this year, like Virginia will play. Like Virginia Tech, we'll also play Virginia, and we'll play Miami. Just a lot of teams that we don't normally play, we get to play this year, and that's great. But this is going to be an interesting game. Virginia Tech has dealt with a lot of players missing out, having to quarantine due to the virus. They've had to reschedule this game. They've had to reschedule another game, pushing their opening season game back a few weeks. They'll start junior Hendon Hooker at quarterback, and as I mentioned earlier, he's one of those dual threat guys. He rushed for 5 touchdowns last year and also threw for 13 to only 2 interceptions, so that's some solid numbers. This is going to be one of those how Wake had to deal with us last week, and they hadn't seen any film on us. They didn't really know what to expect, and that's kind of what states they're in that boat right now. We don't really know what to expect. Virginia Tech does have that advantage of being able to watch film, being able to see our running game in full effect from last week, and I don't know if that's gonna be a good thing for state. I mean, it's definitely going to benefit state that Virginia Tech is going to be missing some key players, and that's why. And I'm going to make this prediction. It's going to contradict my previous season predictions. That in that video I predicted that Virginia Tech would beat NC State and give them their first loss of the season. But due to Virginia Tech's missing out on players at being their first game of the season, I'm going to make a bold prediction, and I'm going to pick the WolfPack knocking off number 20 ranked Virginia Tech on the road 34-28. If it wasn't for the COVID issue of Virginia Tech missing players, and even their head coach stated this week that he said, quote, "We will not have a full roster. I hope we are able to play." It looks like they're going to be able to play, but as he's saying, they won't have a full roster. They don't know who they're going to have at this moment. And with all the chaos they're going through, I think that plays the state's advantage, and that's really the reason why I'm picking the WolfPack. I think Virginia Tech is probably a more talented team, fully healthy, and I'm going with a gutsy call here. I'm going to say WolfPack by 6, 34-28. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm right this time. Hopefully I can get the score around the score this time as well. But if you did enjoy this video, give it a like. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you tune in. WolfPack on the road in Blacksburg taking on Virginia Tech Hokies tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you tune in. And as always, thank you for watching, and go Pack.